with me, I'm copying some files, just taking some photos for you of the stage that we're at with the roof for the new deck. Where is it? Where's my phone? There he is. Be with you, right? How's the quality? There's a bit of feedback. Oh, this could take a while. There we go. Digital camera. Right, we'll let that load up for a second because it takes a while. Let's go back to the live stream. Boom, do a refresh. God, it's all technical stuff down here when you're running a live stream, isn't it? There we go. Brilliant. Okay, who else have we got in the workshop? Come on, comments, load up. We've got Simon Roll. That's all I can see. Good, well, this is just you and me, Simon, private conversation. So, cheers, sir. I'm sure you're probably holding a cider right now, but I've got to put the cold coffee. Machine NZ, morning, Andy and crew. Good morning. How are you? My is still in bits. Sorry. Peter Swatman. Hi, Andy and crew. Good morning, Peter. We've got 12 viewers on board and 4 likes already, and I haven't even started, really. Simon, need to get up and get us... yeah, sorry, mate. Oh, skip the ads. Jesus. Kevin Straw, Monochrome Racing. Evening from the UK. Good evening, sir. And welcome back to the workshop. Peter Woodfine, morning Andy and crew. Good morning, Peter. And of course, Richard Perry, morning Andy and crew. Sorry, they were a bit out of order there. Just as they come in. Daniel Beddle, good day, mate. Good morning, Daniel. Good to have you on board, matey. Right, we'll let a few more comments flood through as they do. So, the week gone. Jeez. It's been a very, very busy week flying around. Not literally flying, fortunately. So Sunday, after the live stream, cracked on and did some more work on the carport. Well, sorry, I keep calling it a carport. It's not. It's the deck. Although I did joke yesterday on Mrs. Mechanic that, hey, it'll make a great new workshop. You know, it's already got the roof, just put the sides in, concrete the ground, workshop. And she just gave me this stare. Like, don't you dare. This is going to be my new deck. And she's looking forward to it a lot. So, you know, I quickly retracted that offer of making it a new workshop. Another workshop. What have we got? We've got Machine NZ again. How's the week been for you? Great segue. We're on with that right now. Vijayant Governor. Morning, Andy and crew from South Africa. Good morning, Vijayant. JJ. Morning, Andy and crew. Many, many thumbs up. Good man. Right, so bear with me. I'm trying to copy some files. There we are. It's all loaded up now from my phone so I can show you some pictures. So today is the last, not those, I think it'd be those ones there by the looks of it. Just bear with me. Yes, copy. Right, let's go on to the thingamajig. Behind the scenes at Andy Mechanic. Right, chuck that in there. Deck roof. Oh, we'll do a new folder. How's that? We can't get confused then. New folder. Deck roof. I know it's very boring. I know. Can't help it. Can't multitask. 72022. Right. Just open that up and drop them in there. And then you can see some pictures. Paste. Right. Wonderful. Okay. View. Extra large. Yes, they're all good. Okay. So, basically, on the Sunday, after the live stream, me and Ben carried on with doing the roof or the timber work. But it wasn't even the roof at that point. It was just the start of the timbers. I think I showed you some photos of the stage we were at last Sunday. And then Monday was a reasonably wet, rainy day. It wasn't too bad. We were able to get out there and get quite a lot done. However, the Tuesday was absolutely horrendous. Poured down a rain nearly all of the day. We've got loads and loads of messages coming through. So Ben didn't really get a lot done. I was working that day officially, so he got done what he could. I was helping him out when he got stuck, but other than that, he was sort of on his own. And then Tuesday night, much later than planned, in the pouring rain in the dark, I had to blast back up to Auckland, and we were in convoy. Ben was behind in his Fred Dibner ute, as we've called it now, and we got into Auckland about, I think it was about 9:30. So I probably got to the hotel about 10 p.m. Didn't leave here till gone 6. So it was quite a long drive, and it wasn't particularly nice, in all honesty. Let's see who's messaged me. What's going on here? Oh, Sheldon. Oh, it was a while ago. Beer time, I hope. Yes, not the other day. It was the other day, Sheldon. Thank you. Daniel Bedell installed new vinyl siding on a house and garage that had been melted via a shed fire. Always a good one. From a neighbour's shed that had caught fire. Don't you just hate that when the neighbour's shed catches fire? Oh, there you go, look. Good job, matey. I'll show some pictures. They are. This is Daniel's work recently. Fixing a shed. There you go, look. Looks a lot tidier now, doesn't it? Not burnt and crispy. That looks like a house. Anyway, right. On to the photo. Oh, you wait to see this. On to the photos of where we're at with the deck roof. Now, I know this isn't car mechanics. I'm not like mechanics, but it's just what I'm on with at the moment. So, it's the way it is. Okay, here we go. Now, if you turn you around, 3, 2, 1, boom. If you see any blue on the photos, you need to completely ignore that. So I'm just going to zoom in because we've still got touchscreen on this one. So here you go. Look, we've got a lot of these bits. Call them what you like. The names vary around the world. Wooden bits that go across. Most of them are on. We've still got a few to go on this corner here. And just zooming across, get rid of the blue. We've got another one to go in there. Now, if you remember rightly, this front beam here is not level. Remember I was telling you about that? Because the distance from this beam to that beam at the back is larger. It's not parallel, basically, than... Where is it now? Where is he? There he is. That beam there at the back. So basically it tapers, does the whole deck, or where the posts are do. And there was a reason for that, because I had to keep access for the tractor. That's my story anyway. Keep access for the tractor. Now, we have got some more photos. Hang on, bear with me. Come on, mister. What are you playing at? There you go, look. So that's an undershot. So you can see all those going in. And again, you can see from this side. And it's turned out pretty well, actually. I'm very, very happy with it. Things are going to plan, which is nice, despite the bad weather. There you go, look, that's a good one, isn't it? So you can see we've managed to get them all nice and parallel there. And it's 5.6 degree slope on the roof, which has worked out quite well. Now there is going to be a slight extension over the roof of the house on the right. Give me your comments on that, because, you know, I just want to stop the rain and the shit coming in. And then there'll also be another extension, hence why this bit of wood sticks out. There's another extension a bit further over here to stop the rain blowing in onto the deck. You want it to be nice and dry under there. That's the plan. Who knows if it's going to work? We will wait and see. But yeah, I think it's coming on pretty well. There'll be no work done on that today because it's going to be raining again. Right, back to the live stream. Boom. Okay, terrible camera work, Andy. Thank you very much for that. Good job. Get the camera sorted out. That's about right there, isn't it? Okay, just closing that down. So if you've got any comments on the deck stuff, you know, that's sort of the current job at the moment. Now, I did also indicate that Alan's Triumph Bonneville was going to be here in the workshop. As it turned out, on that Tuesday night, I was running really late. The trailer was buried down the garden, and it was pouring with rain. So the trailer and other items got forgotten. I had a box of stuff for work to take up, which again, I think I showed you the contents, the verniers and stuff. Completely forgot to put it in the car. Forgot to hitch the trailer on. Just wanted to get in the car and go. So much to Alan's disappointment, sorry Alan, didn't pick up his bike. Still in his garage, which is fine, because I'm not going to work on it for a while anyway. I've got lots of other stuff to do. You know, I can't put on hold doing the deck, and we've got lots and lots still to do with those support plates for the footwells on the ATVs that we make, and I'll give you an update on that shortly, once we've got the pie in, I think. Now, where did we get to? Because the comments have been flying past. Connor K, greetings, Andy and crew. Good morning, Connor. A long-standing supporter of the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel and always here, without fail, on the live stream. So I salute you, Connor. Good man. Daniel Bedell, how many pies are you planning to, on what? How many what? How many pies are you planning on watching today? One. Watch. I don't really watch pies. I eat pies. Anyway, today's pie is, good segue there, Daniel, from Irvin's. Now, this is a pie that I don't normally go for. I think I've only ever had one potato top pie in the past, which I suppose means it's got potato on the top rather than a normal pastry crust. I think I've had a few little sort of mini ones at various events that I've been to and stuff. There's like little snacks that come around on trays and things. Hors d'oeuvres, that they call those. I don't know. A bit posh. Now, this one is, it says 100% New Zealand beef. It's not the standard steak and cheese that we go for, but I have a surprise for you. I do, and I've got a dilemma, and you need to help me with this dilemma, and the dilemma will be explained very shortly once we go over to the cupboard. So, what does this pie look like? And what's the weight actually? It's only 170 grams. That's pretty measly for a pie, unfortunately. I would say the average for New Zealand is probably about 200 grams. It's a camera, Andy. It's a camera. Okay, we're going in. Oh, Mrs. Mechanic had a chicken pie yesterday, and it was just horrific. Oh my word. It just fell apart. Right, here we go, look. Okay, so potato top pies are quite different. It's already got a few cracks in there, and it's obviously had the potatoes squirted in through a little like a nozzle thing, which is a bit weird. Looks like mini starfish stuck on top of my pie. Now, it's quite delicate actually. The base is good. Around the sides, there's all sorts of bits falling off this pie. Around the side, no big cracks as yet. Oh, is there one there? Is that a crack? There is. There, look. So keep an eye on that. I have a hunch that the top's going to crack right open. I don't know. You know, due to thermal expansion. I don't know. Right. Are you unplugged? You are. Okay, let's go and put this said pie in the pie warmer. Turn you round. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay, here we go. Jeez, nearly fell off the stool. Right. One pie. Keep it in focus, Andy. Keep it in focus. Dum, dum, dum. YouTube likes things when they stay in focus. Okay. Gives you a pretty good look at that, doesn't it? Okay, open the cupboard. Open the pie warmer. Stick in. See, it's got a big crack, hasn't it? That crack lines up with that crack across the top as well. But maybe that's how potato top pies are. Right. We'll give it some warmth. Now, the dilemma. Look. I found a pie. Now, this pie I completely forgot about. I can't remember when I bought it. I think it would have been Tuesday morning, actually. So Tuesday morning, and it's now Sunday. And it's been in the workshop, in the cupboard, not in the fridge, ever since. So, live TV, sorry, live TV. Can't get the bag off. There we go. Right, so the question is, it's been quite cold. Is it still edible? Or should I give it to Marmite the dog? Shop dog. I don't know. It's Tuesday. What's that? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 5 days that pie's just been sat in the workshop. That's quite a long time. But it's cooler than a glove box. And I would definitely eat a pie at 3 days old out of the glove box. So you tell me, would you eat that pie? We know how good they are. This is the Wild Bean Cafe Classic Steak and Cheese. It's not the gourmet. So, you know. Don't know. What do you reckon? Would you eat it? So, dilemmas all around. I only spotted that this morning. And I was like, where's that come from? Did Mrs. Mechanic buy that yesterday? And then it sort of dawned on me that I did buy a pie for Ben and Mrs. Mechanic on the Tuesday. I had to go up to get some medication stuff for my asthma. I have asthma, by the way. It's not bad, but I have asthma. and I use the Ventolin sprays. And they keep telling me to stop using the Ventolin sprays, but I tell them if I stop using them, I'll die. Anyway, we get there in the end. She finally gave me some more, which is good. It's going to be 8, actually. Repeat prescription. Be good. Right, time for a cigarette. I think I've earned it. Okay, back to the comments. Where have we got to? So Daniel, not too sure what you meant by watching pies. Simon, the new workshop is coming along nicely. Mate, Mrs. Mechanic watches the live streams. She is going to be chuntering at you right now. Don't give him ideas, she'll be saying. And of course, it started to rain again. It's forecast rain all day today, and I think most of tomorrow as well. It's been bloody raining all the time. The dams in Auckland are at 97.5%, basically full. And for the last couple of years, they've had a water shortage, so that's how much it's rained. Absolutely chucked it down. Lots of floods, lots of landslips and roads out around New Zealand again. They just don't build roads properly at all. But it doesn't help with the ground either. The ground's pretty soft and nasty in most places. Right. Oh, hang on. Yes, the verniers. I've just jumped a comment. I'll come back to that. Daniel, what is the span width of the roof rafters? So between the rafters are the bits on the top that go across the, basically, you know, I'm not a builder, all right? So it's the smaller bits of wood. We did them, the hell were they? I think we did them 50 centimeters, so 500 mil. What's that work out at? So 500 mil, that's like 1.5 foot, so 18 inches. 18 inches? No, more than that. Anyway, whatever it is, 50 centimeters, which looks about right to me, and that's what we went with. So it is what it is. Peter Swatman, did you get the verniers working or are they scrap? No, I did. What I did, I read the instructions and they didn't help at all. So I just put the battery back in the orientation that we had it, which turns out to be correct. And of course the little blinky blinds came on and I just left it for a few minutes and then ping, it worked fine. And then I thought, oh, I'll try it again, see if it's like a one-off kind of thing or whether it happens every time you put a new battery in. And sure enough, it started straight up, you know, as soon as we put the battery in, it fired up. So it must be some kind of like, you know, configuration period that it does when it first gets turned on. I don't know. I don't remember my other one doing that, but it works now, which is all that matters. And I was, you know, thinking maybe it was faulty, which would be a pain because we need it. So there you go, Peter. That's the update. They do work. I didn't capture it on camera because I didn't have the patience to wait for 3 or 4 minutes for it to sort itself out. And I didn't know that it would either. It was just, stuff it, I'll put the battery in, just leave it for a while. And sure enough, came back to it and it was working. So, fixed itself. Best kind of tools, the ones that fix themselves. The Giant, what are you doing to use for the noise from the rain? My roof is very noisy when it rains. It's a Chormy deck roof. Never heard of those. Believe it or not, my original plan for this roof, because, you know, when I'm making videos, it does get ridiculously noisy. It's nowhere near as bad as it can be today. It can get a lot worse than this. It's only a corrugated iron or a tin roof. My original plan, before the roof started to leak in many places, was to get some AstroTurf and put that, some of that plastic grass stuff, and put that over the top. It would sort of blend in well with the garden, and neighbours couldn't really complain about grassy coloured stuff. Not that they complain too much anyway, really, but the guy on that side, he's an arsehole. That's all right. Where was I? Yes. And then, because of all the leaks, I thought, okay, re-roof it with something else. But then I thought, that's a big job, don't want to be doing that. So we came up with a plan, and the plan still stands. It's still going to happen, but it's just getting pushed further and further back. We've got another carport to build, a big one, on this side, which will pretty much spoil most of the view from the deck, but hey, what the hell. It's got to be a bit higher, because I want to put some kind of a hoist in there for ROVs. Now, originally I was going to put in a 2-poster hoist, but that means it's got to be pretty high on the roof. and that might need planning permission. So I'm thinking, and it's expensive because more timber and so on. So I'm thinking, right, okay, let's bring it down a bit, and I can use some kind of scissor type hoist. The only thing I can't do on there is drain the engine oil. I'll have to do that first before I put it on the hoist, but everything else will still be just as good. So, small price to pay. You're not being able to do the engine oil side of it, but the rest of it, easy. Same kind of money, probably for the unit, and it doesn't need to be bolted down to the ground. It's on wheels basically. You wheel it wherever you want, and when I'm not using it, I can push it to one side, which is also a benefit. And the concrete doesn't need to be minimum 150 mil thick and reinforced, which is again expensive. So overall, a much cheaper option and probably more likely to happen. Anyway, going back to the roof. Once that's done, we're then going to put a new roof above this roof, all the way across this workshop, with a gap. Now the gap's there for a reason. It will mean that in the baking heat of the summer, it'll stay a lot cooler in here. There'll be the air between the two roofs, the old one and the new one, will act as an insulator, so the heat won't radiate straight into the workshop. It's already a lot cooler now. We've got the carport down that end, behind those doors. There's a big carport down there. It's very useful actually. Those doors don't get hot anymore, and they used to radiate loads of heat into the workshop, which was an absolute pain on the really hot summer's days. So the plan's working pretty well, and then we've also got a big shed to build down the garden. But man, that's gonna be a long way down the line. I've got to get everything sorted out down this end. Plus, I've got an electrician coming down on Friday of next week, so I can talk him through everything that I want for the workshop, all the power supplies and stuff for the air compressors outside, and an outlet for the MIG, all that kind of stuff. So things are going to happen. Yes, I was going to do it myself. No, I clearly for the last couple of years I've not had time to do it. So it's a case of just bite the bullet, give the man money, as long as it's not too much. Give the man money, man makes things happen. Simple. So, where do we get to? Comments. To do the roof. Right, that's the roof. So, going back to your roof, see if you can get some second-hand AstroTurf, just stuff that's been ripping up because it's a bit worn, I don't know. I think that will dramatically reduce the noise levels. It'll give the rain will be dispersed immediately. And it's good drainage because it's only plastic, so it'll just run off as normal, I think. The birds might like it a lot, though. That's the only thing. Simon, is it a potato top? Oh, hang on. Is a potato top pie a real pie? We're going to find out. I don't know. I mean, it's pie shape, and it's got a filling the same as a normal pie. So the only difference is the top. And Irvins call it a pie, don't they? Do they call it a top? Yeah, it's got pie makers. So, they make pies, and they've made a potato top. And they're pie makers. So they must class it as a pie. And Irvins make a lot of pies. And I'm sure they've done the research. And they're quite common. They're quite popular in New Zealand, the potato top pies. Just not something that I usually go for, to be honest. JJ, chuck the old pie, mate. I can't chuck it. If I'm not going to eat it, Mrs. Mechanic obviously won't eat it. If I'm not going to eat it, then Marmite, the shop dog, she'll love that. She'll woof it down and then wonder why she's, waddling around for the whole day. But she would really like that pie. So maybe I'll donate it to the shop dog. But a little part of me wants to eat it, but I don't need to eat it. I've already got my pie for today. And there's no way I can leave it another day. So I think Marmite the dog's going to get it. Pete Woodfine. Yes, I would eat it. Pete, you're an animal. The Giant. Make it hot and smell the pie to see if your pie smells okay. Hedging your bets there, aren't you? Good idea, though. Daniel Bedell. For the last 3 days that I did the siding, it was 34 degrees C and raining. That's ridiculous. Imagine the humidity. Crazy. As long as the pie had been refrigerated, then absolutely yes, I would eat it. So, refrigerated. Yeah, if it had been in the fridge, I'd eat it. But it's been in the workshop. Now, yesterday in the workshop, Mrs. Mechanic was sandblasting all day, as she's going to be doing today. Sorry, garnet blasting. I know it's the wrong term. And she's going to be doing that again today. Now, more about that shortly. But we have all the air compressors, apart from the one in the silver shed. We have the three air compressors in this workshop running. It's noisy as hell, but it means that we can shut the doors and it's not as noisy for the neighbours, which is important. We've got to look after the neighbours, because if they get grumpy, they tend to bring people like the council down and stuff, and we don't want that, because they have like little books and tickets, and they write letters which you've got to respond to and try and blag you out or something. So we're very careful about that. So anyway, I guess with those air compressors running, it gets pretty warm in here. It's quite toasty. It's quite nice. You don't need any heaters in here, even though it's middle of winter. The air compressor motors and pumps give off enough heat to warm the whole workshop. So the pie certainly wasn't in the refrigerator yesterday. It would have been, probably 15, 20 degrees C in this workshop. Quite balmy. So that in itself is probably not a good thing. So now I don't want to do an update. I don't, just snooze, go away. Right. Where do we get to? So yeah, I'm hedging towards Marmite getting that one. She'll love me forever for it anyway. So it's a plus. And she's been escaping recently. Little turnip. Yeah, we've got to keep an eye on her. We get her in the workshop, shut the doors, and she was just sat on my jacket all day yesterday. Bastian from KWH BSN. Sounds like an old radio station. Hey Andy, glad you could finally make it back to one of your famous live streams. Oh, sorry, glad I could finally make it back to one. Thank you very much, Bastian. Appreciate that. I was going to say, have I missed one? Read it wrong, sorry. So yes, welcome back, Bastian, to the Andy Mechanic Workshop. This is all for you, mate. Well, and the other viewers, obviously. Now then, Peter Swatman. Sat in the workshop with my Mr. Ratty for 5 days. Oh, hang on. Sat in the workshop with Mr. Ratty for 5 days. Try it. Stay near the facilities for a bit. Yeah, I don't want that. But it was in the cupboard, which has, you see the cupboard? Yeah, the cupboard with the pie warmer. So it was in there, and Mr. Ratty can't get in there. So it's one place that Mr. Ratty can't get. Even Mr. Mouse can't get in there. It's a mouse and ratty free zone, which is good. Pat, it's probably got plenty of preservatives in it, so go for it. Oh, Pat, you're tempting me now, mate. Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow. Might even go put it in the fridge. We'll see. Connor K, 5 days with no refrigeration. Here we go. The question is, how close will you be to the bog during the next few days? Do you risk it? It's a very good point. It is. It really is a very good point. I think we're running out of bog roll in this house as well at the moment, so it might be a bad idea. I think Marmite's probably the best option, safest option. It's only a pie. I can go and get another one if I need one. Bastian, I couldn't eat that old pie. It's mostly psychological though. Or psychology though. Yeah, I mean, I have eaten pies out of the glove box before that I've been a bit unsure of the age. And I haven't been bitten yet. As in, having to use the facilities shortly afterwards. But I'm just dubious. I am. Daniel, you're talking about having a double roof or insulated double roof. There'll be nothing but air between the two, and there'll be no ends to it. So, the air will just flow through naturally on a breezy day, so to speak. I think it'll work really well, and it'll solve the rain in the workshop problem as well. And it won't be that hard to do, I don't think. I mean, it's a fair span though. What is it? 6.5 meters across this workshop. So it's going to need some pretty big beams. What I don't want to do is put any holes up through this. I might have to do. We'll see. Up through this roof to support that roof, so to speak. That would make it a much bigger job. Although we've got the steel beams now, they can take the weight. It's not a problem. But I'd rather not do that if I can. I'd rather make it a completely independent structure over this workshop. Now then. And who knows, maybe one day, well, no, that's not going to happen. No. Retract that comment, Andy. You've made all the steel beams. We're not just going to take this roof out and then use the new roof, because that would defeat the whole purpose. So, no, we'd keep the two roofs. And I like this roof. I like the beams. I do. I had a long time making those beams. They're good. They're exactly what I planned them to be. And they work. We've had all sorts of stuff on the winch. It's been great. Now then, where are we at? Bruce Cleaver, morning Andy and crew. If the spud top pie was lamb, it would be shepherd's version. That's right. Could you call it a cottage pie? I think probably, possibly, you probably could. Yeah. Daniel Bedell. And yes, 1.5 feet is 18 inches. Yes, it is. Right, so it's 50 centimetres. What's that? A foot and just over 1.5 feet. Yeah. So I think they're fine. Peter Swatman. If not, have the pet rabbit. Oh, as rabbit pie and give the old pie to the dog and make sure they can get outside quickly. Marmite's pretty good actually eating stuff. She's quite resilient. As regards eating the pet rabbit and making it into a rabbit pie, I have broached that subject a couple of times with Mr. Mechanic. Especially now that this pet rabbit is, every single week that I come home, it's bigger. And it's actually quite big now. I think it's going to turn into a were-rabbit, like a Wallace and Gromit. I don't know when it's going to stop growing. It's way too big now for the little box that we keep it in the house overnight. I'm going to have to make a bigger box for it. But Ben did make Treacle Towers, which is a massive, great wooden complex of many levels for the rabbit to live in during the day, out on the front of the house, which it really, really likes. So Ben did a great job there. So yeah, the rabbit. I mean, we rescued it. It was lost, and I think it was so small that obviously it, strayed from its parents. And I think it probably would have died, in all honesty. So, giving it a new lease of life, house rabbit. Mrs. Mechanic likes it. Although it's getting a bit fast. This is the only problem. We let it out on an evening to watch some telly. And it likes the telly. Really likes watching the TV for some weird reason. And every now and again he bobs his head as if he's like understanding what's going on. It's quite funny. But he's getting fast. And he's getting harder to catch to get back in his little house for the evenings. Yeah. Work in progress. I think maybe a zip tie on a couple of his legs might just slow him down a bit. No, I wouldn't do that. We'll get all the people complaining about that kind of stuff, won't we? Maybe just sort of like little lead weights, like you use at the gym, on your legs to beef up your leg muscles and stuff. Just some little tiny velcroed on lead weights might just slow him down a bit. Give us a fighting chance in catching him. That wouldn't be cruel because that's training him up. That's going to build his muscles. Mind you, if you took them off, imagine how fast he'd be then. Jeez. Now then, where do we get to? Daniel Bedell. That's called a double roof then. Pretty much, it is a double roof. Yeah. Bruce Cleaver. Ari, the double skin roofing. Could you fit Land Rover Safari roof type vents? Could, actually. That's a good idea. Just, again, to let that heat out. That's a very good idea. I like that. Get some vents made up. They probably make vents, actually, that will fit onto the corrugated iron. I'll make some inquiries. I've got to order some corrugated iron, or tin roofing now, for the deck roof. So I'll ask them then about that. That's a great idea. They might even, mind you, this is going to be a flat roof. Well, it's not flat. It's going to have an incline to it, but it's not going to be a pitched roof. It's going to be single sheet all the way across, the lowest bit on that side and the highest bit on the new carport side. So yeah, good idea there. I like that idea. Now then, where do we get to? Simon, the thing with shepherd's pie is you need to pick the crooks out of your teeth. There's always one, isn't there? Morning, Simon. There's always one. That's a dad joke. That's a classic dad joke. I'll remember that. Simon, can you not train the rabbit like a dog? I don't know. Mrs. Mechanic has a house plant in the lounge. It's grown quite big actually, and the leaves bow over the big pot. Originally, when the rabbit was little size, he would look at this plant, but he couldn't get to it, and he's obviously thinking, "That looks really tasty," because it's quite green. And now he can, go on his hind legs, and he can put his little paws on around the rim, and he can take his pick of one of the leaves and the stems and start nibbling away. Now, only until recently, he's been able to just nibble the ones that are dying anyway, which is sort of fine. He's doing Mrs. Mechanic a job and, taking off the dead bits, or semi-dead bits. But now, because he's growing longer, he's able to reach the juicy stuff. And Mrs. Mechanic spent most of last night while he was out stopping him from eating the plant. Now, I did point out at the time that the plant might actually be poisonous for the rabbit. I don't know whether it's actually edible food for a rabbit or not. However, he has eaten a few of the leaves and he's still alive, and that was a few weeks ago. And he had some more last night. It doesn't seem to bother him, so it must be okay. Much to the disgruntle of Mrs. Mechanic, because now her nice houseplant is shrinking. But yes, maybe she can train it like a dog. I mean, she does tell it no, and it does seem now to be reacting to the word no, as in, you better stop, otherwise you're going back in your box. So we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. Be interesting. Not really I mean, I am a pet person as regards. I used to have gerbils when I was a kid, and they kept eating each other. It was weird. But anyway, that's a different story. Yeah, very much like dogs. I've had dogs for a long time now. Oh, there goes the pie. I had a goldfish for a while called 42, number of the universe, answer to everything. That lasted for years and finally died. That's down the garden. We had a rabbit called Patch, which we saved. It was called Patch and he had one eye. I think he got stung or bitten or something in one of his eyes, and it all went weird. It wasn't Mixie, but he was a great rabbit. He was really resilient. We bought him a new hutch and everything, and Mrs. Mechanic and Eloise built the hutch up, put it out in the garden, and unfortunately, it had a different kind of latch on the door, and it must have been a latch that the local cat knew how to undo. And Patch was no more. So Patch is buried down the garden as well. Poor lad. He was a cool rabbit. He was. He got on with Marmite really well, actually. They were good mates. Where do we get to? It's getting cold in here. Look, see my breath. Dennis Ball. Hey Andy, long time no see. Bin the pie and stop over for some sausage over on the barbecue. Oh yes, that sounds a good idea. From sunny Ohio, US. Cheers, mate. Made me very hungry now, Dennis. Thank you. I like sausages off the barbecue, especially ones that have popped, you know, and then the inside gets a bit crispy as well, where it's popped open. I like those. They're nice. Bastian. I actually had rabbit for. Oh, come on. I had rabbit for lunch yesterday, but not in pie form, and it wasn't my pet before. Well, that's probably one good thing. And people do eat rabbit, you know. I've eaten rabbit years and years ago when I was in Spain, but it's not something I normally go for, or haven't gone for since, because I know it upsets Mrs. Mechanic. She doesn't like it. Rabbits are pets to her. They're not food. Although, you know, force majeure, zombie apocalypse, maybe there'll be a rabbit pie on the horizon. George Bonnie 90. Hello, everybody. Good morning, George. Welcome back to the workshop. Daniel Bell. Do you guys have a local Walmart near you by chance? We don't. We have a Kmart, but not really local. I think from memory, Walmart is opening a branch in Auckland. A massive store. I think it is Walmart. Could be wrong. I think it is. Should we Google it? Let's have a look. See if I'm right. Mr. Google should know. New Walmart for Auckland. Walmart does not currently operate any stores in New Zealand as of 2022. Walmart is operational in 24 different countries, but New Zealand is not one of them. Oh, hang on. No, it's Costco that's coming to New Zealand, world's second largest retailer. Costco, not Walmart. Sorry, my apologies. I knew we were getting a new brand coming in, so that'd be interesting to see how that pans out. Simon, rabbit and black pudding pie. Oh, stop it! Honestly, Mrs. Mechanic watches these live streams just to make sure I don't say anything I shouldn't say, and then she tells me off. But yeah, you're in trouble now, Simon. You really are. The Giant. Lol, my mother says that a rabbit looks like a cat and refused to eat. My mother says that a rabbit looks like a cat and refused to eat rabbits. Well, there you go. Your mum's got it sussed. Simon, you've got to stop eating rabbit pies. Oh, the coffee's cold. Mrs. Mechanic, I need new coffee. Oh, there you go. No, it's Costco. She's on the ball. She knows what's going on. While we've got her on text, though, And she's obviously watching the live stream. Coffee, please. Well, okay, so she got the coffee message via the live stream and via text, so maybe, just maybe we'll get one. Oh, I got a comment this morning. Here we are. You ready for this? This is funny. Comment. I think it's still there. I might have got rid of it. Where is he? Is he gone? Ah, it's not there anymore. Maybe he's retracted it himself. It was to do with the 12 volt, you know, socket on the car, and he was telling me off for not mentioning about how to wire up a 12 volt accessory plug. That was the video, and he was telling me off quite aggressively actually that I hadn't mentioned about the type of plugs that you can get with the little red arm that comes out. I've seen them. I have no idea what the little arm is for, so I didn't mention it. And the video wasn't about what different types of accessory plugs there are in New Zealand or around the world. It was about how to wire up a generic one. So why would you bother mentioning it? Anyway, so I just responded back. I said, do you get so upset about everything that you get free in the world? Thank you very much for the comment. Appreciate it. Where do we get to? Pat Toohill. In an apocalypse, all animals are food. Lol. Oh, I couldn't eat Marmite. No, I mean, I could eat Marmite out of the jar. I couldn't eat the shop dog Marmites. That would be bad, wouldn't it? You know? She's been so loyal over the years. I just couldn't. No, I couldn't eat Marmite. But I understand what you're saying. AJ44 Ming. Morning, crew. Quick check-in before I'm off to nephew's wedding. Wow, I haven't been to a wedding for years. Solution for Bugsy. Send Mrs. M shopping and take care of Mr. Rabbit. Sorry, Mrs. M. I couldn't do that. My life wouldn't be worth living. She was so happy when I caught that rabbit. She was like, wow, it was meant to be. Little bastard was pretty quick as well, to be honest. Bastian. There is a German saying that a cat is a rabbit from the roof and therefore a potential food source. Right. Don't think it translates that well, but okay. Yeah. They can stick to that. Daniel, I asked because I want to get you a Keurig and my favourite coffee. Okay. Cinnamon bun if you add 3 teaspoons of sugar to it. I swear if you close your eyes, your brain will think you're eating an actual cinnamon roll. Jeez. Okay. Interesting. Right. I think it's pie time. Let's go and get the pie because I'm getting hungry. And, of course, it's now raining lots. Oh, we're back. The internet failed us again. We're getting quite a few of those recently, aren't we? Okay, so a quick peek into the pie warmer. Thermal crack has expanded. Boom, boom, boom. Oh man, it's pretty loose. It's got some cracks in it. This could be difficult. Bear with me. I don't want to have the whole thing collapse on me. There we go. Shut the door. Keep Mr. Ratty out. Okay. Back to the bench. Now, where's the bag? Oh God, hang on. I need a clean surface. There we go. Okay. Golly. Right, turn you around. 3, 2, 1, boom. Try and get the camera set up properly again. Over there somewhere, that should work. Have I got a pen? Yes, I've got a pen. Right, we've got everything we need to do the pie thing that we do. Okay, so this one, for those that have just joined us, this is an Irvin's potato top pie. Not really my thing, in all honesty. I'm going to try and speak up. Let me know if you can't hear me because of the rain, and I'll start to shout. Okay. It's very, very open at the top. Potato is not a very good sealing agent, obviously. It's very, very, very fluid. Reliant completely on the base of the pie to give it structural integrity. A bit like a cabriolet car, and we all know that they handle like crap. Okay, so there you go. Look, it's already got a crack down the side. This side, fortunately, oh no, it's got a crack there as well. This whole pie could completely split into two. It's not looking good. All right, so I'm going to start on the crack, like I always do. That sounded terrible, didn't it? The crack of the crust of the pie. Right, here we go. First problem. The potato tastes like that instant potato, the kind of potato that you get at KFC in a pot with the gravy. I hate that potato. I like real potatoes, not processed stuff. So it's not looking good, people. It's not. I was looking forward to this as well. The inside, the meat, that's all right. You've got to get through the potato. There's like a penalty, you know, a test. Oh, there's a dog. It's dead now. To get to the meat, basically. Where do we get to? Bruce Cleaver. I ate one of my rabbits. How did we get onto this? Honestly, it was tough as all boots. You can actually starve if you only eat rabbits. Not enough in the meat. Is that right? Well, that's a very good reason not to eat rabbit fingers. Simon, got my first thumbs down on one of my videos today. It's a funny feeling. It is! I get loads of thumbs down. I'm surprised they've even still got a YouTube channel, to be honest. When I haven't even posted a video for like 6 weeks, I'm useless. But I'm also really busy. Okay. This pie requires an awful lot of pie management to keep it together. It's extremely weak. There you go, look, there's some more of the inside. It's still nice and hot, which is good. I imagine that the potato acts as a bit like a, you know, a thermal insulator. It's alright. I think if you just get the potato and the pastry, it tastes a bit weird. Once the meat's in there, it's not too bad. I'll retract my previous comment. Bastian, store-bought rabbit isn't tough at all. Daniel Bedell. Audio also had dropped off for a couple of seconds. Ooh, that's interesting to know. Daniel, do you like pepperoni? I love pepperoni. Very nice. Connor K, eat a pie, drink a pint, click the like. Simple as that, isn't it? Can you still hear me okay? Now, the plan of attack for today, because it's raining, can't do any more on the deck. I've sort of got to the point where I've done everything I need to do on the footwell plates. Mrs. Mechanic now is holding the whole thing up. She's got probably about 2 to 3 days of sandblasting still to do, which hopefully will get done before next weekend, and then I can spray that whole kit on the Saturday morning, and then I can get it up to Auckland probably on the Monday or something, hopefully, if all goes to plan. Okay, I'm going to start scoring this pie. Totally forgot about the scoring bit. Okay. Taste stroke flavour. Well, the meat content, and I suppose we need to class the potato as realistically part of the contents, because it's not the pastry. The meat's fine. I mean, there's no big chunks of meat in there, but it's still reasonably tasty. The potato, like I said before, it's not the greatest potato. Overall score for the flavour of everything except the pastry. Give it a 5. Sorry, I'll speak up. I'll give it a 5 for that one. I'm not a real fan of this one. Now, structure for your partners. and this is going to be low. We've still got, I mean, I am holding it together, and the base, despite the base being super thin, it's coping reasonably well, but I'm using lots of fingers to support the pie. You'll have noticed that on the video. It's not really a good pie for that kind of stuff. I'm going to give it a 3 overall for that. Now, runability test. It might pass this, actually. Okay, 45 degrees. 30 seconds is the target. If we start to see movement, then we'll stop. It's actually holding its own really well, actually. As regards runability, there's no real... There's no sort of fluids in there, so to speak. It's all pretty solid, isn't it? So I'd call that a pass. However, it's very crummy. There's lots of bits falling off. So I'm going to knock it off a point for that. I'm going to give it a 9. So it's done pretty well on the runability. Meat quality. Okay. Just meat. And that was a bit gristly. I'll try again. Let's get rid of some of the potato. Yeah. That is true. Almost like smash. Remember smash potato, processed potato that used to just put hot water to and mix it up? Tastes just like that. Didn't like that. Dad used to feed it to me all the time. Whenever Dad used to cook, we used to get that smashed potato. Disgusting. The advert was the best part of that, actually. And so those robot-y things. Anyway, meat. Meat quality. No big chunks of meat. It's almost like mince, actually, if you can have another look. There you go, look. Very small pieces. It never focuses very well. Is that going to focus? No. There you go, look. It's about as good as I can get. Okay. I'm going to give it a 5. I'll give it a 5. I think 5 is fair. It tastes fine. Okay, pie to crust ratio. Now, obviously, this pie has no pastry top. And I've already considered that the potato is part of the filling. I know it acts as the lid as well, but it's not pastry, is it? So, huge contents, basically. Very small percentage of pastry. Scores very high. Let's give it, I don't know. I'll give it a 9, I think. It should really get a 10, shouldn't it? I'll give it a 10. Because there's no other pie that's going to have that kind of ratio to it, because every other pie we've had has got a pastry top as well. Okay. Now, availability stroke logistics. Irvin's pies are all over the place. You can buy them in dairies, you can buy them at petrol stations, some petrol stations. You can buy them in supermarkets, therefore you can buy them online, because you can buy online from supermarkets nowadays. They're all over the place. So, readily available. 8? 9? 8? I mean, they're only fit to eat. They're only pre-warmed at the dairies. Anything supermarket or buy online is going to arrive cold, which means you've got to heat it up. I think they are pretty much everywhere. I'm going to give them 8. No, I'll give them 9. I think 9's fair. I know it's high, but you know, you've got to give them a good mark where good marks are due. Irvin's pies are all over the place. Pastry taste rating. Jeez, how am I going to do this? Right, if that was a bit of pastry on the side here that I can steal. Right, we have some pastry. Pretty bland. It's quite gooey. Doesn't actually taste completely cooked, in all honesty. Weird aftertaste. I'm going to give it a 4. That's pretty poor pastry, Irvins. Sorry. Still tastes when cold. Don't know, but it is cooling down really quick, so we'll cover that a bit later on. Packaging design. Well, it's quite distinctive, the old Irvins. And I'm pretty sure they use a colour code on the bottom of the pie, bottom of the packaging as well. Blue for potato top. It's got a little window in there so you can see your pie, so you get to see what you're buying. Oh, hang on. That's a burp, bear with me. Hang on, this might be Mrs. Mechanic. Oh no, it's not. It's LinkedIn. Nice. Okay. So they've spent a bit of time putting this together. Again, it's got a window at the back, so you can see the underside of the pie as well. Looks quite traditional. You know, it looks pretty good. I'm going to give them. I'll give them a 7 for that. I'll give them a 7. It's not bad. Okay. Recyclable score. Has it got any indication it's recyclable? I know it's plastic, which is bad, but it might be one of those stupid weird, well, that's stupid, one of those weird plant-based plastics that they're doing now. We get some of our milk cartons made out of plant-based plasticky kind of stuff, which is biodegradable, which is pretty cool. But no, there is absolutely no mention whatsoever. There's no recyclable symbol on there, so I'll just show you. There you go. Look, that's the rear. There's no symbol. I'm not hiding the symbol. There is no symbol. I don't cheat on these pie reviews. This is how it really, really is. So this has to go in the bin. So it's not recyclable. They don't even tell us to put it in the bin. That's bad. You know, dispose of sensibly, and they haven't even done that. So I'm going to give them 0. A big fat 0 on that one. Post pie heartburn. Well, I've had 1 burp so far, so bear in. There might be more. Stuffability score. Don't know. Better keep going. Pat, I don't think you're getting a fresh coffee until the rain stops. She's got an umbrella. You know about? You can come out with the umbrella. No problem. I need a coffee. This is freezing cold. Come on, Mrs. Mechanic. I made her a tea when she was in bed this morning. I bet she didn't drink it now. Now then, Bastian, put some barbecue sauce on the pie to cover the potato taste. Yes, I think you have to drown it in something. I mean, to be fair, a lot of Kiwis would eat this with tomato ketchup. And if you buy a lot of cafes, if you go and buy a pie in a cafe, they will give you, or in fact, some of them will even put the ketchup on the plate with the pie. They don't even ask you if you want it or not. You just get it. It's just it's what happens in New Zealand. It's not a bad pie. It's just not the kind of pie I would normally eat. I think if the top was a bit more crusty, and maybe I'd dribbled a bit of, put a blob of butter on there, that would have been nice. Okay, well, where did we get to? Daniel, all good on the audio, excellent. Daniel, do you like provolone cheese? I don't know what provolone cheese is. Bear with me. Let's have a look. Might be called something else here. Provolone cheese. Italian. Bear with me. We're getting there. We're loading. Fromage. I think I probably do, actually. I'm sure I'll have had that many, many times. Oh, you will also know. No way. Jeez, honestly. Right, back to the live stream. So yes, I think I probably do. I like a lot of cheeses. The only cheese that I really struggle with, really, is blue cheese. But sometimes, if I get a cheese board, you know, maybe I'm way on the road and I don't want a dessert, but I'm still a bit hungry. Or maybe I'll just have a cheese board as my evening meal. Obviously, it will come with some blue cheese on it. And 9 times out of 10, I eat it. And it's just different, you know. I usually, put some dates or whatever it is with it to try and soften the blow a little bit. Daniel, it's called instant potatoes. It is. Simon, the Smash ad as a take from Button Moon, as it's not. Didn't get that. Daniel, just add hot water and thicken to your likeness. Nasty. Daniel Bedell, do you like beagles? Oh, bagels, I think you mean. Not beagles. Beagles are a dog. Bagels or croissants? I like chocolate croissants, actually. The French ones. Very nice. I've had those many times. And yes, you can buy them here in New Zealand, but in most places they are nothing like a chocolate croissant should be. Huh. Link to the Smash advert. Harry Dog, hi all. Morning, Harry. Welcome back to the workshop. Bastian. Weight, hang on. Weight of the packaging to weight of content ratio isn't really good with this style packaging. So 0 points is a bit harsh. Huh? Weight of packaging. No, the only 0 that I've given it is recyclable score. Is this recyclable? It is not. It is a no. I don't believe it should get any points. I think manufacturers nowadays should be, it could easily be recyclable. There is no reason why this needs to be made of plastic anymore. There's no reason why it has to end up in a landfill. And don't forget, they sell thousands and thousands of these pies every single day. That's a lot of plastic to go in the ground when it could be something which is biodegradable and in a few years' time has disappeared. So I think, Bastian, that's the only 0 that it's got so far. Okay. Harry. What would cause a fuel injection motor not crank up unless you put your foot on the gas pedal? Just a little. Then it cranks up good. That's weird. So if you don't press the throttle, it won't crank. Engine doesn't turn over. As soon as you press the... Sounds like a golf cart. As soon as you press the throttle a little bit, the engine cranks over. Don't know. Never come across that before. That's weird. Because on a fuel-injected vehicle, be it a motorcycle or a car, you're not supposed to touch the throttle until the engine is started. Otherwise, it confuses the crap out of the ECU sometimes. So, don't know. That's a world first as far as I'm concerned. Simon, ever come across that before? Daniel, if tomatoes are here we go, are a fruit, then that means that ketchup is a tomato smoothie. Yeah. I think that debate has been going on for as long as we've had tomatoes, to be honest. I'm not even going to comment. The world can sort it out. I like most tomato sauces. I'm not a big fan of tomatoes. Maybe it's all the preservatives that I like. I don't know. Anyway, let's finish these scores. Still tasty when cold. I don't think it would be that tasty when cold because there's a big content of potato, and cold potato is not particularly nice. Would I eat it cold? Probably would if I was really hungry. I'm going to give it a 3. I think a 3. Don't forget the pastry didn't taste particularly good either, so there's 2 things going against it. It's only the meat content that's really going to taste reasonable when it's cold. Post pie heartburn. We've had 1 burp, but nothing more, so it gets 9. That might change. Stuffability score. Am I stuffed? Do I want to eat anything else? I'm looking at that other pie right now. I don't want to eat it. Not because it's been in the cupboard for 5 days. If it was a pie that I purchased this morning, I wouldn't eat it right now. So yeah, I'm sort of stuffed. I'm okay. I'm going to give that an 8. I think it was quite filling with it having the potato content to it. The potato was far more filling than the pastry equivalent would be. Now, pie server attractiveness. This came from the village just down the road. And I think we give the young lady there, I think she gets a 6. Maybe a 7. I'll give her a 7. Because she always puts in a lot of effort for her appearance. So Mrs. Mechanic says. Right, not that I've seen it before, but Mrs. Mechanic's reported back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, all the scores are in. Oh, I can hear some noise. You can help me with the arithmetic now and double check. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Right, let's get you set up because this is a very important part of the pie survey. We've done a lot of pies over the years, haven't we? A hell of a lot of pies. Right, so we've got 8, 17, 22, 32, 41, 45, 48, 55, 64, 72, 79. Not too bad a score for a pie that I wouldn't normally go for, to be honest. So, 70, not 7.9, 79. Get you that. 79. Right. There's the strip. We've got a spare strip. So this is, just for those that fast forward through live streams, this is an Irvin's potato top. I'm going to put, I mean, it doesn't really indicate what's in it, so I'm just going to put beef. There was no cheese in there, by the way. I didn't see any cheese or taste any cheese. So 79. And I'm going to put on there 170 gram. I've started to put on the weight to these pies because it is important, you know. No point having a little piddly pie. Right, let's go and put this on the leaderboard. See where we end up. 79. But first potato top pie to be reviewed as well, actually. Could be the last. Who knows? You see, Irvin's don't do too bad. They've got the Irvin's The Beast Beef, Bacon and Cheese, 94. It's not too bad, is it? It's pretty close to the top. Any more Irvin's on there? Oh, yeah, underneath. Standard Steak and Cheese, 93. Pretty consistent then. Any more down there? Irvin's. You see any more Irvin's on there? Oh, there we are. Irvin's 6-pack steak and cheese. You see, there's a big difference between the 6-packs that you get from the supermarkets and the individual pies that you get from the dairies and stuff. But you've got to watch. Some dairies are quite sneaky. They'll buy the 6-pack from the supermarket and then they'll try and sell it as an individual pie, but in a paper bag rather than in an Irvin's bag, obviously, because they haven't got one. So, I mean, they're pretty sneaky around here. Right. So, we need to move a few of these up. Camera work, Andy, camera work. People need to see what you're doing. You see all the yellow splatter? This is when I was spraying the beams in the workshop. Not that we sprayed all of them, though, unfortunately. Right, stick him in there. Irvin's potato top pie, 79. So, sort of down near the bottom end of pies, isn't it? Not ideal. But anyway, not horrific. It'll keep you alive in a zombie attack, that's for sure. Right, back to the bench. I need a cigarette. Where's me coffee? There we go. Now, probably have to set that up again because it will be moving around, haven't we? Okay. Jeez, nearly fell off the bench. That'll work. Right, okay. Where do we get to? I think we've still got plenty of battery in the phone. Jeez. Workshop hasn't got a flat floor, unfortunately. There's many things wrong with this workshop, but there's many things that are fantastic about it as well. Oh, somebody at the door. Hang on. Go on. Might be a coffee. What have we got? Coffee time. Oh. Hey, Poppy. Oh, yes. Fresh coffee. Thank you, Mrs. Mechanic. She won't see that because she's still in the garden. And she won't have brought the live stream with her. Okay. Good job. Got a coffee. So we'll just do a few more comments and I'll finish this. Then we'll go for a wander and go and see what stage we're at with these plates. Dum 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 dum. Where do we get to? Oh my word! So many comments. Here we go. Got to reverse back. Bear with me. Oh, golly. Jeez. I've been rambling on. Daniel, I've done that one. Bastian, Plastic is recyclable if not melted and used as packaging again, at least as fuel. It's solid crude oil after all. Yeah, it's full of carbon, isn't it? Recyclable. Yeah, that's... Well, isn't the word recyclable? You could repurpose it, is what you're doing. You're repurposing it into heat by burning it. But it's not ideal, is it, for the world? You know? And it doesn't tell you on the packaging. It just, there's no indication of what to do with it. So it's going to end up in the bin. People default to putting stuff in the bin, don't they? You're still at an angle. Hang on. That's better, I think, just. Okay, there we go. Oh, tomorrow we get a new page on the calendar. Can't wait. Might need some more red tape, though, by the looks of it. Now then. Where do we get to? Peter Swatman, how does that work on the old diesel engine where no ECU but all mechanical? Hang on. So I thought that was a petrol injection car. Go back. Bear with me. Bear with me. I think I've overshot. Yes. Well, you didn't actually, Harry, you didn't mention whether it was petrol or diesel. I was assuming it was petrol. But with the old pumps, so an old injection pump on the diesel, if it wouldn't start to put your foot on the throttle, then of course maybe the cold start side of it's not working properly. So it's running too lean to start from cold. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's a petrol ECU, electronic injection, fuel injection system on it. Now then, Bastian, ketchup is a vegetable. Ronald Reagan. Well, the man knew a lot of stuff, so we'll go with that. Simon Roll, not seen that one unless the clutch interlock switch and is shorting in the throttle. Yeah, sometimes cars won't start to put your foot on the clutch, I know that. But never come across anything to do with the throttle side of it. Daniel, then I have a great recipe for you. Take a bagel slice, take a bagel, slice it in half, take 3 slices of pepperoni and 4 slices of provolone cheese. Interlace them on both halves. I can do that. For a total of pepperoni and 8 slices of, bloody hell, 8 slices of provolone cheese. That's a lot of cheese. Scott, if it's cranking but not starting, it might be a dirty throttle body. But he said it wouldn't crank, and that was the weird thing. Harry, Scott, that's what I was thinking also, but wasn't sure. So it does crank, just doesn't start. Right. Okay, so it could be, a blocked up idle speed control valve, or like you say, a dirty throttle body or something. So I was thinking more of the cranking circuit as opposed to the ignition side of it. Harry, Scott, Daniel Biddle, scrolling down, bear with me. Big blue blob in your middle of your thing. Right, put the 2 halves on a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, probably, for 5 minutes. Or until the cheese is melted. Oh, man, that'll taste so good. But like a pizza bit in a bagel. Scott, carb cleaning your wife's toothbrush. Somebody's going to be into trouble if they do that. But yes, give that a go. Give your throttle body a clean out. That might work. Daniel, let cool. We're still going on with the recipe here. Let cool to liking. Then place the 2 halves back together and eat. I knew you were going to put the 2 halves back together. That's phenomenal. That's a heart attack right in one bun there, isn't it? Very nice though. I will try it one day. When I go shopping, I'll get the ingredients and we'll give it a go. Simon, Harry Darg, it's a no crank or a crank no start. It sounds to me like a crank no start, Simon, which I assumed the former. Daniel Bedell, Mrs. M with your coffee. Yeah, she's awesome. Even in the rain, she'll bring me coffee. Top lass. Harry, Simon, it will crank up sometimes without your foot on the gas pedal. A little. But most times it won't. I think we've got a bit of a lost in translation here. Harry, you need to confirm with your foot off the throttle pedal completely and you turn the ignition key to the crank position. Does the engine always turn over? Does the starter motor engage and rotate the crankshaft? Or does it not? That's the critical element in this diagnostic. Chopper's Rule 1. Good day, mate. Good day. Welcome back to the workshop. Chopper's Rule 1. I'm off to a huge car show today. It's been going on for 2 days. Oh, you'll have a great time. I remember going to the NEC in the UK. Oh, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was Earl's Court. That's right. It was the motorcycle show at Earl's Court in London. And somehow, I think I used to write articles for a little classic motorcycle magazine, I think it was. It was at A5 magazine, and they used to pay me £20 for every article they published. And I got a few published. But it allowed me to get a press pass on that particular year. So I got to go on press day, not the day that all the public go in, which was the next day. And during press day, they had all the models draped across the various motorcycles, which was, for a 17-year-old lad, was just mind-blowing. It was quite the experience. I had an excellent, Mrs. Mechanic's watching this, I had an excellent time. It was great fun, Mrs. Mechanic. Mrs. Mechanic wasn't there, by the way. It was most fun indeed. Yes. I might have been 16, actually. Might be. 16 or 17. Pretty young. And I saw things that day that a 16-year-old lad should not see. But it was good. It was great fun. Yes, made me a fan of motorcycle shows for life. Although none have ever bettered that one. Just saying. Oh dear, oh dear. Yes, I'm not going to comment anymore, otherwise I'll be digging myself a massive hole. Roger Heaps, here we go. Throttle body set, screw come loose, RE no start. Well, it could be idle speed. If it's all gummed up, then there's no air at all going past the butterfly, and the idle speed control valve's not getting air through as well. So, engine won't start with no air. Daniel Bedell, so yummy. Harry Darg, yes, it will turn over. Right, okay, so there you go. Clean your throttle body. But also, just once you've done that, just make sure that the idle speed control circuit, whatever kind of idle speed control valve it's got, is also not gummed up. Simon, Harry Darg, big air leak, lack of fuel. Or lack of air, could be. Choppers Rule 1. I will see if I can do a video of the car show. That would be cool. Send me a link. So, where are we at with these footwell plates? Well, let me show you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Right. So, we're on with the 700cc footwell kit, support kits at the moment, and these are all done. And Mrs. Mechanic, before she saw this pile that I'd stacked up, because they were all sort of scattered around the workshop with me on Sheldon doing the various countersinks, which is working brilliantly now, got that set up really, really well. Depth is replicated every time perfectly, so that is one issue that we've resolved completely by using that that countersink bit with the hex drive, so it doesn't slip in the chuck at all. She thought she'd done more than half, and then I stacked up all the ones still to do, and she hadn't. And then she queried, well, hang on a minute, I've done more than 50. We should have done half at least. So I had to count up. We've actually got 110 of these plates. More than we actually ordered, which is even better. It's great. So she's getting there, slowly but surely. I have some really good news as well. I'll tell you that shortly. A little look inside the sandblasting cabinet. What's going on in there? Not a lot. We did have some problems the other day, actually. Oh, yes. One thing. If you've got a sandblasting cabinet, you see that valve down there, look. So the garnet drops down and goes down here and gets, through vacuum, gets sucked up this pipe. Well, we recently replaced this pipe. because the old one was a bit crap. But if I can, I don't know, can I get a bit nearer? Maybe I can get a bit nearer. Hang on, bear with me. We'll just see if we can move the cabinet. It's a bit top heavy at the moment because the filter needs emptying out. Bear with me, bear with me. Right. Look at the size of that supply pipe. It's monstrous, isn't it? Okay, if we go down here, you will see, there we are, look. Can I set you up? I can set you up. Right. This is an adjuster. It's got a little air hole here and a lock nut and a bolt. And the idea is that you adjust this to adjust how much garnet goes down the pipe. And this is quite troublesome. It didn't used to have a lock nut on it. I've put the lock nut on there to try and hold it in place and set it. But it doesn't allow for a lot of adjustment. It seems to be quite finicky to get it just right. So my plan of attack is to remove this and put a pipe on here and run it up to the front of the cabinet. And then, if I come around here, on the front of the cabinet, somewhere probably where I've already drilled a hole, the pipe will come up, right? And we'll use maybe a water pipe tap, one with a red bit on it, so you can find, or maybe even a gas pipe, on and off valve, which will then go to atmosphere. And it allow Mrs. Mechanic to fine tune that while she's using the cabinet and not have to call me to keep making changes down there. So she can adjust it. And I think the adjustment does depend on how much garnet's in there. It depends on how much air pressure there is, depends on how damp the garnet is. There's a lot of factors that seem to affect the positioning of that the amount of air that you introduce into the pipe. And by having the adjuster up here, it'll work brilliantly. It'll be an addition to make the cabinet even better. And it is working pretty well, but I think we can make it work even better. Because, speed and power and all that. Right, back to the bench. Boom. Oh no, it's outside is this opening, so I can't show you that. Right, bear with me, people. Bear with me. Terrible camera work, as always. Although Ivan's the king of bad camera work, aren't you, Ivan? Classic videos that Ivan does. Great content, though. Great content. That's why we all watch them. So, I had it confirmed earlier in the week. The last batch of 450 kits went out up to Auckland with me on Tuesday night. I didn't forget those. They went on a pallet. Trevor the tractor loaded the pallet in the back of the ute. They got delivered Thursday morning to head office, and they've got out to the network. I also had confirmation now that we now need to produce another batch of 700 footwell kits and another batch of 450 kits. So that's another 100 kits in total to produce. I also got asked if I could supply the design drawings and hopefully laser cut files, if I can get them, for Australia. So it may well be that my kits are going to be used over there as well. Wow. At least I won't have to make those. But I don't get any royalties on it because, I design the kit during work time. So the design belongs to work, not me. Which Mrs. Mechanic was very upset about, but that's just the way it is. There is one possibility that they decide not to get them manufactured in Australia and ask me to get them produced here. That would mean we have a lot more to make. Jeez, I'll be making kits for the next couple of years at this rate. Where do we get to? Harry Darg, got to go for now. My hands hurting. Was drilling some light pole holes. Went through the pole too quickly and went all the way through the pole really quick. And the drill bit went through my hand. What the hell? Harry, you're a disaster. Just don't put your hand where you're going to be putting the drill bits. Plan ahead. Oh, mate, that's terrible. You can't be doing that. I don't think I've ever done that before. Have I ever drilled into a finger before? I've grinded a few fingers with flat discs and stuff. That I think one of them was a knuckle, which is pretty bad. Which one was it? I think it was that one. No, it can't have been that one. Must be on this hand because I hold the grinder with this hand. I don't know. It was one of them. It's fixed now, but it was down to the bone. It was nasty. Took a long time to heal up. So, bit of forethought, bit of planning, you know, bit of common sense, Harry. You shouldn't go drilling your hands. You need your hands. It's going to be really nasty. Simon, Harry Darg, can you read live data that's going? It would help loads. It would. Choppers Rule 1. My Mitsubishi Triton diesel ute runs on sometimes. Would the throttle body need a clean? It's a fly-by-wire throttle. Possibly. Maybe it's not fully closing the butterfly. But saying that, it should cut the fuel as well when you turn it off. That's bizarre. Maybe you've got a leaky injector. One that's, you know, just dribbling a bit. Harry Darg, I will try that, Simon, but there is not live codes neither. Oh, there's no codes. Choppers Rule 1, when you turn the ignition off. Yes, bizarre, isn't it? Daniel, by the way, they are called pepperoni bagel melts. I love them. It's a good idea. I've got to try one of those. I've had 5 of them in the past week. Oh, you need to cut back a little bit. That sounds about as bad as me and pies, to be honest. Simon, I've drilled through my big toe. How the hell did you manage that? Oh no, I've drilled through my big, I think it is toe. Yes, just missed the E off. My big toe before. Now I don't hold things with my foot. No, I would agree, Simon. That was probably a bad thing, to be honest. I think the nearest that we've come to that at this end is my little brother Ollie, when he was a Mum might remember this, actually. She'll laugh. It was a long time ago. We lived in a little place called Wilberforce, outside York. And Ollie is my youngest brother. And we were playing in the garden. And I think I had the spade, the garden spade, and Ollie had the garden fork. And we were digging in one of the flower beds, just messing around. And Ollie somehow managed to put the fork through his own foot. All the way through. One of the fork tines went right through his foot. And he was only a little lad at the time. And so, of course, you know, he screamed out. So I think I just pulled the fork out of his foot. Being a kid, I wouldn't have thought anything else of it. Just pulled it out, took him inside. And Mum, I remember this quite vividly, Mum sat him on the washing machine, I think it was, in the kitchen. And got some Dettol, you know. Put some warm water and got a little cotton bud and clean the top of his foot, the wound, the entry point, clean the exit point, and then put a plaster on each side. Off you go and play. And that was it. None of this hospital stuff, none of this clean the wound out with saline solution. It was just a case of, you know, bit of Dettol, you're all good, lad. Plaster top, plaster on the bottom, put your sock back on, off you go and play. And off he went. Happy as Larry. Unbelievable. Well done, Mum. It was fantastic. The things we used to get away with as kids was great. So I'm not sure if that tops you drilling your big toe, Simon, but it's a funny little story, and I'll never forget that day. Little Ollie. He was completely accident prone, was Ollie. I'm sure he still is. Right. Choppers Rule 1. I have to go, mate. I'm off to the car show. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the car show, Choppers Rule 1, and I'll look forward to seeing that video. Good job, mate. Okay, crew, what are we on? We've done an hour and 29 minutes. I'm going to sign off at an hour and a half. Warm coffee, thank you. Not the cold coffee. It's been great having you all along. We've talked about rabbits. We've talked about drilling through your foot. We've talked about cars not starting and diesel utes not turning off. It's been quite a bizarre, interesting live stream, as it always is, to be honest. Great to have you all on board. Appreciate your support as always, and I'll see you again next Sunday, 8:30 a.m. Cheers, crew. Over and out. What's that? Man buns ain't funs. I don't have a man bun. I have a ponytail. See you around, crew. Cheers. Over and out.